Hey guys, welcome back to New World Carpentry Solutions. In this next video series, I'm going to be taking some hints from Lincoln Street Woodworks and I believe John Heights over on YouTube. Lincoln Street did something that I've really been thinking about, and I've seen a few other options for it, but I like his. Essentially a set of upper cabinets that are nothing but drawers. He called them Jorbinets. I definitely like the name. And then John Heights, he did a wooden drawer slide that's full extension. So we're going to copy and intermix both of those ideas into this upper section right here. And if you guys do remember, further back, this was just a series of wooden cleats that held a bunch of scrap wood. I want my cabinets back now, and those cabinets are going to help, add another shelf. I'm planning to butt the cabinets right up to the top. You probably can't see that beam in the camera, but there's a header that runs right there. It's going to be continuous with the other cabinets down the other end. Another thing that I am going to do that's slightly different than everybody else, they all use premium grade plywood. But as you guys can see, I finally have lights in my shop, so I actually finished hanging my ceiling, and most of my walls now all have OSB. And in that process, I'm left with a lot of OSB cutoffs. So in this case, because this is going to be a whole row of Jorbinets, you're never going to be able to see the ends, maybe the bottom, so I'm probably just going to paint them. I'm thinking either black or white. They will end up being cabinets that get mounted here. Then I'll probably do a nice drawer front to hide the look of the cabinet. So them being OSB is not going to be an issue. But again, various offcuts like this, can't really do anything else with them. I have a bunch of them, from rips and cuts from hanging the plywood everywhere else. So what I'm going to do is turn these into a functional set of Jorbinets. Follow along in this video series so I can show you guys how I do it. Come on. Alright, we now have our stack of material all ripped down to the proper width. And again, I'm using 4x8 sheets of plywood, so I end up going about 11 3/4. So that way I can get multiple rips out of each one of these, trying to optimize material. That's also why I have a bunch of 4-foot panels. I could cut all my cabinet sections to 2 foot or 24 inches. I want to go 23 and 3/4 just to maximize material, so I can guarantee 2 pieces out of each one of these. And in total, that wall back there is about 10 foot long. So I'm going to end up having to do 5 units, roughly 2 feet long. With this stack here, I have enough to do my 4 2-foot units on the outside. The one in the middle will probably be a little bit wider to fit in between the two. I end up doing that one afterwards, but for right now, let's build our main 4 units that will go on the wall. We're gonna come over here to the miter saw, set up a stop block with a set of clamps, and then batch out all the parts. Alright, now that we have all the parts cut up, the next thing we need to do is go into the assembly process, which is going to be pretty simple. I'm just going to be using a series of 1 1/4 and 1 1/2 staples. One because staples hold really well in 1/2-inch plywood, and strictly because it's a simple assembly method. I'm not really going to be using too much glue on this, strictly because, again, they're not going to be holding a ton of weight, and I believe the 1 1/2 staples will hold them to the wall just fine. Hold them together just fine. I'm going to end up adding a divider down the middle to make these 2 separate smaller banks because of the Jorbinet units. I don't want to try to risk making a 2 foot wide Jorbinet and having all that weight in there. So they're going to be both 1 foot units inside of each one of the cabinet boxes. And I'm going to double up the divider in the middle just to make sure I have enough thickness for the divider to actually drive in my screws for my Jorbanet units. So I need to laminate my center panels, and then I can install the center panel and then add the back stretchers. Everything's going to be assembled with just staples though. Pretty simple assembly method. After everything's assembled, we're going to go into actually hanging everything on the wall. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And the last tip I can give you guys when assembling any cabinet box is spacers. So like how I'm spacing the center divider out, I'm using a spacer that's perfectly divides this cabinet in half. So that way there's not really too much thinking on getting the center divider one square and centered. So that way each one of my Jorbanet units themselves as I go down the line can be the exact same size. So another key tip for you guys. I'm about to slap these last few boxes together, and I'll see you guys when it's time to hang everything up. Alrighty guys, we have all of our cabinet units built. We have 2 off camera, another one sitting back over there. So the next thing I need to do is figure out the overall height of our units. And we have 24 and 5/8. So what I'm going to do next is actually mark a level line across the bottom and then run a cleat or a ledger strip to help sit these cabinets on before I install them. So let's mark a line at 24 and 5/8. And we're going to pull it from from the bottom side of this beam. 24 and 5/8. We'll go a little bit heavy. The first step we want to do is mount the ledger. So let's set this down. And here she is. I know there's a stud in the beginning and at 23 and 3/8. I'm measuring to the nail hole right there. So if I just take this and put a mark at 23 and 3/8, I know there's one right there in the corner. That ledger is going to give us something to actually rest our cabinets on. But also, we know coming from the left, we have 23 and 3/8. So if I come and measure on the back side, that catches right in the corner. So I probably can take a screw and come right there in the corner and one right here at the bottom. It's pretty much there's going to be a screw in both corners. Yep. World. All right, we have the other two units already up. I've already moved the ledger strip over to support the next row of cabinets. I only have the other two built. The one in the middle is going to be built custom to kind of fill in the space. It should be a little over 23 inches because this is like 10 foot, 5 inches, something like that. So with these, each one of these units being about, I think they're 23 3/4. So the remaining space will be filled out by whatever I actually need. But currently I have my other two units. All I need to do is hang them. So the next thing I need to do is actually move my jointer out of this corner. So I can get access to the wall. And then I need to know where the studs are. There's one right there in the corner. The next one is at 25, so I'm not going to hit that one. So what I'm probably going to do is throw 2 screws along the corner to catch that stud, and then I'm probably going to use some shorter screws just to go into the 1/2-inch plywood. Let me grab some short GRKs for that. Don't want to throw a 2.5-inch one into the plywood. And I can show you guys why. Let me grab one of each screw. In case you guys don't know how screws work, you have, this is a 2.5-inch GRK. I think this is an inch, 1.5 inches. If you guys see, you have multiple parts to the screw. You have the thread, the shank, the smooth portion, and the head. Whenever you go through material, once you get past the screw portion, the shank no longer pulls in. So since I'm only screwing into 1/2-inch plywood, I'm only going through my 1/2-inch cleat. If it's not enough material behind it for it to hit, because I'm only going to 1/2-inch plywood, the shank won't pull in any further. So this is too much shank to go into the 1/2-inch plywood. This one should work. The rest of this will probably be sped up though, because it's just me hanging the other two cabinets. Probably won't say much else as I go through this process. But we know, again, right hand side, it's going to be a stud right here in this back corner. So we're going to take our 2.5-inch screws and get it started. And also, as a note, I normally would pre-drill that hole before I put the screws in there. I'll kind of take my tape measure, lay out where all the studs are on the back side of the cabinet, come through and pre-drill them, but I'm just in my shopping. These cabinets don't need to be perfect. I'm going for quick and easy, which having more than one drill actually isn't a hard thing to do. Probably should have had a second drill out. We're gonna rest it up on the cleat. Slide it over to the corner. Grab our drill. Oh, this one has a staple poking out the bottom. I need to hammer that in. This staple right here is keeping it from sitting flat on our runner. Where did I put my hammer? Now we come into my secondary issue. I don't have any screws that are short enough. This is 1/2 inch plywood, but it's not a true inch. So any of my 1-inch screws or anything else are gonna blow through the other side. So what I'm probably gonna do is actually back out that top screw, staple the unit itself together, and then come back and actually drive in the rest of the screws. But let me hook up the air compressor and I'll get back with you guys. Because I actually want to make sure that all the units are nice and flush. So when I do add the drawer fronts and everything else, they're flush. So let's reposition, grab me my nail gun, and I'll join each one of the individual units together. And then we just have this last one that goes right here in the middle. All right, so what I have set up here now is 7/8 inch staples and my staple gun. I do need to turn down the pressure a little bit because if it countersinks like at all, it actually blows to the other side. So I've been actually angling the staples so they kind of travel through both pieces at an angle, so that way they don't blow through. We're gonna go ahead and clamp this up, back out some of those screws, and then get the cabinets perfectly flush and lined up. And guys, just like that, that is how you guys build and install custom carcasses for my Jorbinets. In the next video, we're actually going to build the actual Jorbinet units themselves, the custom runners that actually are going to allow me to use them. It's going to be a copy from John Heights. It's going to be a wooden set of drawer slides. I'm going to make a set for each one of these boxes, and then we're going to build the actual Jorbinet units and the drawer fronts in the upcoming videos. If you guys have enjoyed, please let me know down below. Leave me a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.